If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. It's been a wild offseason in the NFL, but few stories have the Cleveland Browns fanbase buzzing, like the one that's been quietly brewing behind the scenes. Rumors are swirling out of Cleveland that star pass rusher Myles Garrett has privately, and now reportedly publicly, revealed that he no longer wants to play alongside cornerback DENZEL WARD. If that sounds like the kind of locker room drama that could derail a franchise with playoff aspiration, well, that's because it very well might be. While the Browns have kept a relatively tight lid on things, whispers from inside the organization suggest the situation might be even more serious than fans realize. Sources close to the team say Garrett's frustrations go beyond on-field issues and tap into personal tensions, fractured trust, and what some describe as a deeply divided locker room, with Garrett at the center of one camp and Ward on the outside looking in. We're talking about two of the most important players on Cleveland's defense, and arguably on the entire roster. Myles Garrett, the face of the Browns' defense, for years is a multiple-time Pro Bowler and perennial Defensive Player of the Year contender. DENZEL WARD, a fellow Pro Bowler, has been the cornerstone of the Browns' secondary since being drafted 4th overall in 2018. These are not bench players or rotational guys. These are franchise pillars, so when reports emerge suggesting that Garrett not only doesn't want to share the field with Ward anymore, but went as far as to say Ward is hated by large portions of the Browns' locker room, fans and insiders alike sat up and took notice. It's one thing for players to have disagreements, it happens in every locker room, but it's another when a team's leader draws a line in the sand and says no more. It's important to understand the gravity of Garrett's alleged comments. According to sources who spoke on condition of anonymity, Garrett's words were blunt, deliberate, and unequivocal. He reportedly told teammates and staff, "I'm done with him. I don't trust him. I don't want to play beside him." That kind of declaration is rare in the NFL, especially when aired internally, let alone leaked to the media. But what's perhaps even more shocking is the follow-up. Garrett allegedly claimed that Ward isn't just disliked, he's hated by the Browns locker room. That term, hated, carries a weight that can't be overstated. This isn't about chemistry on the field, blown coverages, or miscommunications. This is personal. And for a team looking to finally break through in the AFC North, this kind of division could be catastrophic. Now, of course, Browns fans are desperate for answers. What could have possibly happened to fracture the relationship between the stars, who've gone to war together for years? There's been speculation, though nothing confirmed, about incidents that took place last season. Some have pointed to Ward's body language during team meetings, or his perceived lack of accountability after big losses. Others say the issues go even deeper, possibly involving locker room politics, cliques, and a long-building resentment that finally boiled over. One rumor, which has made its rounds in team circles, suggests Ward may have made comments about coaching decisions or criticized teammates in private, comments that eventually got back to Garrett and other veterans. Whatever the case, it's clear something serious has shifted. What makes this even messier is the silence from the Browns front office and coaching staff. As of now, there has been no official comment, no statement from head coach Kevin Stefanski or GM Andrew Berry. That silence is deafening. It suggests that either the team is scrambling to do damage control behind the scenes, or worse, they're bracing for something even more explosive. When a player of Garrett's caliber is discontent, organizations usually move quickly to mediate. But when that same player claims a teammate is universally despised within the locker room, well, that complicates things. You don't just smooth that over with a team meeting or a group dinner. You're dealing with egos, contracts, and reputations, and in the NFL, that's a dangerous cocktail. There's also the looming question of what happens next. Could the Browns consider trading DENZEL WARD? On paper, it sounds insane, trading away a top-tier cornerback in his prime, especially one who just signed a hefty contract extension. But if the locker room has truly turned against him, and if Garrett, who arguably carries more influence in the franchise than anyone not named Deshaun Watson, is adamant about not playing beside him, then maybe a breakup is inevitable. The NFL is a business first and foremost, and sometimes talent isn't enough to justify keeping a player if the locker room dynamics are toxic. One source even hinted that conversations have already taken place internally about exploring trade options, though nothing has been confirmed. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Let's not forget the ripple effect this could have. If Ward were to be traded or benched, how would that affect the rest of the team? Would it solve the internal divide or just create more questions? What message does it send to the rest of the roster that Myles Garrett calls the shots? That locker room drama supersedes performance. These are complex questions, and there are no easy answers. The Browns, already under pressure to deliver results this season, now face the daunting task of managing a PR nightmare and a potential implosion from within. Fans may not want to believe it, but these kinds of rifts can derail a season before it even begins, and don't think the rest of the league isn't watching. Teams across the NFL are well aware of Cleveland's internal tensions. If Ward becomes available, there will be suitors, make no mistake about it. Teams are always looking for elite cornerback help, and Ward still has tremendous value despite the drama, but if this situation isn't handled delicately, it could damage both his reputation and the Browns' leverage in any potential deal. That's why the Browns are likely proceeding with extreme caution, weighing every word and every move. They know they can't afford another headline, but at this point, the headlines are writing themselves. As for Garrett, this may mark a turning point in his leadership role. He's always been seen as the quiet, dominant presence on the field, a player who leads by example. But this situation thrusts him into the spotlight as a vocal and polarizing figure. Is this the start of a new Garrett, one who isn't afraid to speak uncomfortable truths? Or is it a moment of frustration that could backfire? Only time will tell, but make no mistake, the locker room will take notice. Some teammates will back him, others may question his approach, and the coaching staff, they'll be walking a tightrope, trying to hold it all together. In the end, this is either a growing pain for a team on the rise or the beginning of something much worse. The Browns have built a roster that looks, on paper, capable of competing in the brutal AFC, but chemistry is everything in this league. And if this rift between Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward is as deep as it sounds, Cleveland could be in for a long and turbulent season. For now, it's all rumor and speculation, but where there's smoke in the NFL, there's almost always fire. And right now, there's smoke billowing out of Berea, Ohio. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!